What is up, everyone? MK Tom Brady here. So in this video, I just want to say this is a real treat, for you guys. This is going to be great. Hope you guys are having a great Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're sitting down with an extra plate of pumpkin pie, stuffing, turkey, all that good stuff, all the fixings for the holidays. Strap in for a great one here, boys. So the funny thing was was not going to be a video of this subject. This was going to be a video about matchmaking in Combat League originally, but I want to do my research before I say anything. And it ends up being a video about just how really bad we are, how bad the state of our community is, the state of our scene, and how MK1's a big reason for that, but the way NRS has handled things is an even bigger reason for that. So, as I said, this was originally going to be a video about Combat League stuff. So over the last 7 days, I've seen about 12 videos talking about the bad matchmaking in Combat League, meaning people are not commonly, but more common than should be, ending up with matches that are the guys 2, 3, sometimes even 4 rank of a difference. Here we see a clip from JSF stream. Shout out to him. I watch a lot of your stuff, my man. This is Demigod or rank 7 going up against a Warrior rank or rank 3. And as I said, a lot of people have been complaining about the matchmaking this season in Combat League, so I did some data on it to see, hey, is this a real... I did some research on it to see some data to see, is this a real Combat League problem with matchmaking? And what I found is it is not. It is more than likely a player count problem. Now, while I don't have player numbers for PS5 or Xbox, and even if I did have those numbers, only Steam numbers are published, there's really no way to know which number of those players are in Combat League versus how many people are in other online game modes. So, but from what I have noticed by just the data that is out there, it seems as if there's just a lot less players in Combat League. So what's happening is they just don't have enough players to match you up with someone of similar rank in that moment. Just because, while there are players your rank online, there's not enough of them because all of them are currently in game. So they just match you up with somebody just to give you a game, and that person happens to be, there's a difference of 2, 3, 4 ranks. So even if this was the case, it could be for many reasons, right? It could be because, hey, maybe people don't like the change of 2 out of 3. Maybe people don't like that there's no Wi-Fi filter. You can't decline Wi-Fi games. Maybe people are just fed up with the lack of online features, right? And they're like, the heck with this. Tweety's talked about this many times on his stream and on his YouTube video about it. So I wanted to look at some numbers of the offline version of the game where we don't have those problems. Also, for reference, I just want to start off by referencing our Pro Series. We have 4 Pro Series events. East Coast Throwdown, which happened, Ultimate Fighting Arena coming up this weekend, CCXP, and Combo Breaker. So only 4 offline Pro Series events. Here's the first one. This represents 25% of the Pro Series, that we may not have a Season 2 of a Pro Series. So this represents, as of right now, 25% of what could be the only Pro Series for the life of the game. 296 entrants. Look on the far right there. 296, number of players, 296. Compare that with where we were in Mortal Kombat 11. On the far right again, 807. This was our first major, and it was a Pro Series event. See, I've been around for a long time in the NRS scene, and I was here for the rebirth of Mortal Kombat in the NRS era of Mortal Kombat 9. Our numbers have changed, quite a bit. We went from the rebirth to only a couple of hundred to then, like 500 and then to 807 and now this, right? We literally regressed 10 years in our scene, in how we were. So now we are where we were 10 years ago, first major initial excitement. We've regressed quite a bit. By the way, not a Pro Series event for Street Fighter, same tournament, ECT, 493, almost 200 entrants more. If you look at our next Pro Series event, which is Ultimate Fighting Arena, we have 129, not even 500. So 50% of our Pro Series, not even 500 players. Street Fighter at ECT alone, not a pro event, got more entrants than our entire Pro Series, 50% of it combined. By the way, Ultimate Fighting Arena Street Fighter numbers, 540 entrants. So Street Fighter, between these two events, over 1,000. Mortal Kombat, our first two offline majors, brand new into the game's life. Pro Series events, not even 500 combined. And there are a couple of reasons for this. So Mortal Kombat and NRS is a little disingenuous here. See, Mortal Kombat has the ability to obtain, but not retain. There's a big difference. See, those guys over there, they will show their plaques and, all the pomp and circumstance. Look at these awards. Look at the sales, which is great. They're in business to make money. So the sales is a great credit to them. NRS knows how to obtain. They are the worst when it comes to retaining. The worst. But they only boast about the ability to obtain. So while they can obtain more sales, more numbers initially than any other fighting game, Mortal Kombat NRS retains less of their top players and less of the casual player. But Tom, how do you know less of the casual? The player base overall, be it tournament or online, is casual mostly, less pro. Even at a big tournament, most of the players there are not pro-level players, right? They're average to mostly casual. They make up the majority of the players. These are the people that are getting last and second to last, et cetera, right? They're just there to support the game. They like the game. They find the event fun. But the majority are casual. The majority of all players everywhere are going to be casual. The reason why these tournaments are bigger than ours, they not only do they have more of the pro player there, they have more of the casual player there. So other fighting games have more of the pro and casual player that come out and support the game than even NRS does. And this goes to retention, not the ability to obtain, which NRS is second to none in. While I'm going over this, let me give you some riveting Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay here of the game here. 199 million storm cells, by the way. And keep in mind, if he was using Goro here, these would be launchers instead of Kano. So, but enjoy the riveting gameplay here while I go make my points. So the real issue here is two things. For one, there's no legacy to Mortal Kombat games. More times than not, Mortal Kombat eliminates pretty much everything, including changing a lot of the system mechanics. They just change too much in the game. Other games, Street Fighter, Tekken, while they do change quite a few things, it retains a large amount of a legacy curve that Mortal Kombat does not. So players can come back to these games and still recognize them. You really can't do that with MK. That's one. I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. That's just one of the reasons why we can't seem to build our scene. Because people make excuses. They say, oh, they've been saying this for a long time. We're babies. We only started a few years ago. Now, from 2011 to 2023, right? So we're no longer babies in the scene anymore. That excuse is no longer valid. There's a real issue here why we cannot retain, only obtain. So no legacy, really. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The next thing is NRS caters to the casual more so than anyone else. Now, I understand every game does it. Street Fighter does it to a degree. So does Tekken. They all do. It's just kind of the way of the world right now. But NetherRealm Studios is way more worried about what the casual audience finds annoying to deal with. Not what's fair or not fair. What is annoying to the casual more so than focusing on the game. And the problem is, while the casual player leaves, and a lot of either top players get annoyed and they leave, we are then stuck with a game to sit here and play for the rest of the game's life in a not a good state. This happened in MK11, and MK1 is not starting off great. So the real issue is that this, NRS, the way they've dealt with things over the years, also their silence. They never address any issues. They never talk about any issues that are going to be addressed. It's all silence, all hush hush. It just makes people say, you know what, the heck with this. And even though they also worry, like I said, what's the game going to look, what are they going to say? Nobody wants to watch this kind of stuff. Nobody wants to watch this. You're right. What they really want to watch is 100 million storm cells and 100 million low hats over and over and over again. That's all we're going to do, right? That's what and this game basically is launcher into advantage launching move with Goro, 999 low hats into hard to blockables, and now Tremor is all hard to blockables as well for the most part. That's pretty much what he's used for. He does also replaces Darius for Raiko, which is the main character that even used the Darius cameo. So now Tremor just makes it so we have one less cameo with Darius. Darius no longer exists. Enter Tremor for Raiko. And this is what this game is. It's basically launcher into plus frames, armored launcher into plus frames, or move that now launches into plus frames over and over and over again. Or 90% of the game is low hat, 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 hard to blockable, low hat, low hat, low. And then it's, what does Tremor give? What are people trying to do? Hard to blockables. It's all this game is. It's really turning into a mode, a feature, which was meant to give us freedom or promised us freedom in the cameo, is just turning into a more limiting factor of the game, which, by the way, doesn't just bother the pro player, bothers the casual player. We have lost so many players from MK9 till now. And it's not because, the players can't compete. Listen, I'm going to be dead honest with you. The level of play is significantly higher than it's ever been. The average player today comes in with a much higher base point than ever before. So I am not denying that. The players are better than ever. But it's not because, these players from MKX and they just can't cut it anymore. These MK11 players, some of these Injustice 2 players that left, they just can't cut it. Stop that that's garbage. What it really is they don't want to play this. They don't want to play a game that seems limiting. They didn't want to play MK11 for it. They certainly don't want to play MK1 for it. And the casual player gets tired of saying low hat, low hat, low hat, low hat, low hat, low hat, low hat over and over and over again. And the problem is not, now what is the answer here? Is the problem in this game to nerf Kung Lao? No. Nerf any character right now? No. Nerfing is not the answer. If you start nerfing, and there's a video out there by someone who I'm not going to say, very disingenuous out there, saying that everybody wants all this stuff nerfed. Nobody wants Sindel nerfed. Nobody's saying Sindel's broken. No one's saying these hard to blockables are broken. That is a straw man argument. No one is saying that. It's an argument not being made by anyone. The real truth is nerfing the game is the worst thing to do. If you make nerfs, you nerf Kung Lao, then it's all going to be Striker. You nerf Striker, it's going to be Goro and Serena. You nerf Serena and Goro, and this game is going to be in a really bad place. You nerf Johnny Cage, you nerf Sindel, you nerf Kenshi, you nerf Ashura, you nerf Raiden, you nerf all these characters. Then you have a game where all the carriers are crap and all the characters are crap, all the cameos are crap. And then you have a game that somehow ends up in a worse place than even MK11. And I didn't think that was humanly possible. But if anyone can find a way to do it, it's NetherRealm. And that's what they really need to do is again, that they need to kind of re-look at how they need to start focusing on the retention rate of the game, and I think, obviously they wanted their initial sales, but they've got to realize being able to retain players has to take some priority. And right now it's not taking that priority for them at all. I think the only way to do that for this game, the only way to save this game, obviously we know the online features that have to be added. That's also big to casual players. The online features, the cosmetics are complete crap. They've got to fix those. The power level of this game is fine at the top. The problem is the power level from the best cameo to the medium to the worst. There's a massive drop off there. The power level from the top characters to then as you go to near the bottom is a massive drop, which is why this game feels so limiting, and while it just feels just not enjoyable because you're not able to do anything besides low hat on the screen as, wow, look at what we're seeing here. This is the highest level, boys. And the answer, this is fine. The answer isn't this is a problem. The answer is to put more in the game besides this. And that's what NetherRealm needs to do. They've got to realize that the way this game is, there's really no way to make it not a powerful game, not make characters powerful. What they just need to say is, hey, there's a base power cap. Characters will not, this is an acceptable power level, and try to raise everyone as much as possible up to that power level. I understand you're not going to have balance. Not every character is going to be as powerful as another, but they've got to raise the power level so that it's at least closer, which also means characters can do more. And the more characters can do, the more enjoyable the game is. And I don't care what casuals think about, I don't want to deal with this. Doesn't matter. They don't stay anyway. Look, bad news. Casuals, as much as you guys boast, we're paying customers. We're paying customers too. They already got your money. You're done, right? You're done. Your value is over. But they've got to be able to retain players. And even you casual players, you certainly don't want to do this, right? You want to do more than this, right? So at the end of the day, That's really the only way to fix this. I mean, Omni-Man came out. What are people doing? Loud into everything, right? That's just pretty much... More people were excited for Tremor than Omni-Man. Why? Because cameos dictate the game more than the characters. Cameos should be the +1 to the character, not cameos of the game and the characters the +1, which is what Mortal Kombat 1 is right now. NRS, they have a chance to change everything right now with this game. And they really need to do so, because right now people were not happy with the way things went down with MK11. And what the numbers are showing is just a major disappointment in what was originally high hopes. Will we see anything? It's NRS. I wouldn't hold my breath. You'll see a lot more microtransactions because they seem a lot more with getting your money in their pocket and not actually with making you happy or a satisfied customer. But hopefully things will change in the future. And I'm not some NRS hater. I want nothing more than to come on here and say, they did it. They did it, guys. Man, praise be to NRS. Because I'm really not some NRS hater. I'm just telling you the way it is. And the numbers support that. So, hope you guys have a great holiday. Please stay safe over the Thanksgiving weekend. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as always, stay tuned for more content.